Hello, Trade Social members, and to anyone else joining us this morning. This is the YouTube edition for our daily portfolio share for the Trade Social 22K account. Today is Thursday, the 20th of June, 2024. And yeah, really excited. Let's get into it. So first we need to send Sophie a link and get my co-host joined. Sophie, I can see you are one of the participants. Just sending you out a link now, so we'll see you shortly. Look forward to catching up. Markets are open currently. GMT time is 3:20. So hello. Hello. How's things?
Time. Yeah, it's good.
You're new.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not going to kick off too noisy. I'm doing my best. But
where are you?
Good. I'm in Padstow.
Padstow. Wow, I missed that place.
Padstow.
Where are you in Padstow? Looks like you're in a pub.
We're in Shipwright. And then after this, we will be heading to Stonehenge because the summer solstice is this evening and longest day of the year today. So, yeah.
I've got a summer solstice event tomorrow morning.
Have you?
Yes, I don't understand the significance of the number, but we're doing some sun salutations in the morning. Makes sense, and it's 180
nice.
something, 86.
Okay,
so that's
nice, cool. So you're gonna get your yoga on.
Mornings. I haven't done yoga in a long time. Yeah, it's going to be very painful on Saturday morning.
You're going to be fine. You're a surfer. You're pretty fit, nimble. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, there's been talk about surfing for a second. Portugal's been lit. The whole coast has been lit up with some fantastic waves this week. And if you can get out of the wind, then we managed to score some fun sessions, get the community together, and I'm very tired from a lot of surfs. So it's been a fun week.
Got to get it in whilst it's there.
What else has been going on for you?
Nothing much. We've been in Newquay exploring. We met up with some of your good friends last night. Had an amazing pizza from Pizza Jockey down on Little Fistral Beach, which was great.
Fantastic. Happy that you met up with them. Really excited.
Yeah, me too.
Nice
me too.
photo.
It's actually very interesting talking to Az about his trading journey at the moment. Obviously, he came with us for that first event for Tasty Trade in Shoreditch.
Yep.
And just to see his progression and where he's at, basically. Yeah, it was really interesting to chat with them both. So. Good times.
He commented on the kind of photo. I sent him some links for YouTube this week, and he said to me, "Oh wow!" He said, "You've got my interest. I'm trying to reel him in to get him on, as a Trade Social member." And his comment was, he loves strangles, and that's not something we cover as of yet. So his excuse currently. If there's no strangle coverage, he's not interested. So let's just put that on document.
We do have a lesson on strangles, though, in our Zero to Hero beginners trading course. So that is all there. All the strategies are there. It's just whether we're using it at what time and whether it fits in with how the market's currently moving. So
yeah, well said. We got great coverage. No, he is very familiar with strategies. So he's probably a little bit more advanced for that course because it's covering beginners, it's covering basics. So he's more so saying our alert subscription. We cover a lot of naked puts and verticals, and we focus on more so part-time trading, whereas he wants to push and add in other strategies and things. So I'll just say to him, watch this space, and maybe there'll be some interest from him.
Absolutely, it's early days. I think the fantastic thing about Trade Social is that we have something for everyone, really. Maybe not so much the experts, but I guess your live daily trading is more in that kind of league. But apart from that, we have the student shares, we've got a live show as well with yourself, then we've got our course, and we've got an amazing community which is kicking off. So
absolutely, lots
of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it fun, get a good community. If anything, for that, it'd be great to just get people like Az, who trade daily, whatever the strategy is. We just want to create conversations and create topics and points.
Keep it social.
Keeping it social. So I've just shared my trade log as we'll jump into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. whilst we've got good connection, whilst things are going in our favor.
You know how it is on the road.
I know exactly how it is. It's lovely chatting, catching up with my sis, but then also we've got a little job to do. So I've highlighted here today the 20th. I've written down or just taken log of the TS account, which is 22K, by the way, for anyone who's new. Deltas are at 36, so we're in line in our neutral range, aren't we?
Fantastic. Yeah.
And then theta wise, we're a little short. We're at 0.20. We'd like to see that double the amount of delta that we hold. So what's the culprit for that? And if we move on through, we see BP's very low.
Okay, right. So they're both like kind of intrinsically linked in a way, the theta and your BP usage. Yeah,
you just want that 2-to-1 ratio. With BP. Yeah, completely. More positions. Normally that'll be the case if we're low on positions. We took a winner off, didn't we, on Monday? Just to recap, $254 came into the account, which is fantastic, and taken us up to, for June, 1.96%. Our goal's 2%, so we're sitting quite pretty there.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Very impressive.
Another two weeks left to trade on that, so it looks like you're pretty on target to hit the goal.
We are, yeah, and so that would have reduced the BP. However, so once we get to pass the maintenance today and little market prep stuff, we're going to get on to putting a trade on. So without further ado, we got a lot to cover. This being the YouTube only, so if I just want to reach out to people that might be interested in us, give them a little bit of spiel for Trade Social. So this is the Thursday show. This is the type of content that we talk through on our platform from Monday to Wednesday. So that's a subscription service where we're following the Trade Social 22K account, and we have you watch me trading live daily and seeing the opening, closing, going through basically my routine daily. And yeah, there's lots of good content there, and you come and join lots of members too, where we ask questions and everyone gets involved and generally learns to run their own portfolio too. So that's that's the subscription service. And yeah, the idea behind this daily show, just finally, is to give you a window into the reality of income trading. It's a mechanical system. It's a rinse and repeat strategy that is tailored to people who are looking for a part-time income, and they're looking for professional side hustle is what we call it. So therefore, it has to be around 45 minutes a day, or 45-minute routine. It can't be much longer than that, because we've got a full-time job to adhere to, weekdays, and market days are open weekdays. And this strategy that we have, this product that we've developed that we have in our trading course, and you can learn from that, and you can see us following this in the subscription service. It's a 45-minute routine, and it's a 2 to 3 days a week only trading. You're not expected to be trading every day. This is an interim thing. It's not a full-on day trading. It's also then not a stock passive long thing. We're somewhere in between. We're called active traders, and our goal is to consistently make over 2% monthly. That's the goal we go for this month and last. I think 3% is going to be a reasonable target, so we can exceed our 2% monthly.
Yeah, fantastic. Well said. It's always great to underplay and then have some fantastic results at the end of the month.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. You what's the adage? Is that you I'm gonna mess this one up. You under promise, over deliver.
Overachieve. Yeah, we love that.
So without further ado, let's jump into some market health check. Let's look at how things changed overnight. Okay.
Okay.
So Switching screens. You'll have to put up with our faces for a moment whilst I go jump to tastytrade. Okay. Am I showing my screen? Can you see?
You are showing your screen. Yeah, I can see it there.
Okay. Cool. This is the SPY. This is the settings that I recommend using. We use most of our screen here for price action. That's the fastest data you're going to get for the markets. It's price action. And you can see this. We have it in candlestick form here, which I recommend learning about. It's good data really to have. Then secondly are these ribbons you can see here, and every day we use these to check price action to see if we're above or below. They generally act as resistance levels, so that's a fantastic thing. And then the rest of it we have here are just indicators that give us ideas and inclinations and things. If that interests you, I recommend heading over to our platform where we share all these settings, and you can go and get yourself set up. Makes things easier to follow along with today's show, for example.
Sure.
All right, China's markets then. How did they close last night? So Asian markets, as a whole, they mostly moved lower, with the Nikkei index moving higher, is the only thing moving higher, but not by much. And then Hong Kong and Shanghai, which is huge indexes, big market caps, moving lower. Mostly from my prep work, I saw news stories that pointed towards the reason being that China is keeping its 5-year prime loan unchanged. So that's created a bit of uncertainty, just to make note. And then secondly, New Zealand, they affect Asian markets quite a lot, being in the same neighborhood. They finished a technical recession, boosting them. So they are growing at a 2% quarter on quarter. Okay, so that I think's a good headline to share with everybody, so you can see the why. European markets then. We follow the DAX, which is German, and we follow the FTSE 100, which is UK. The green across the board, so looking really positive. Mostly they do follow the US market. They can be quite a good indicator of how the trading day ahead for the US, as they open, their market hours are before. Swiss nationals, they cut their rates lower, and Norway held their rates flat. So this could be very bullish for markets, and there is a Bank of England rate that is pending, a rate decision that's pending. So I think all of those things are bullish for the day. Cool. Just to, again, make everybody aware of these news stories. We're trying, we try here with daily prep reports just to save you time, basically. Did you want to jump in, Soph?
Yeah, I just wondered, obviously this all has a correlation into how you would potentially trade for the day, right? So if you're seeing more of a bullish market, would that then affect the way that if you were to put on a position today, would you be going generally to the more bullish side, or actually the opposite? How would you be looking at that in terms of?
So is that a question for Trade Social strategy, or is that a question for just people prepping?
Sure.
Yes, so it makes sense. That's why we're here. We trade our rules regardless. I finish this segment normally by saying this, that it's a great thing to know about economic and political data points and news stories. However, we do not use any of these as indicators for trade decisions. Personally, I've tried strategies that include those. I didn't get the results that I personally wanted. So that's why I moved to options. As soon as I found options, I became a consistent and profitable trader for many years. And mostly the reason to this is we use options maths and probabilities, which is this predictability of trading strategies. We don't have to rely on what Sophie's talking about, these news stories, whether today it's looking bullish or bearish. Let's make a assumption and then put a trade on. We're not trading with our own assumptions and things. Not to say that people can't do that. You can hear about and follow successful traders doing that. However, it's what's the word? It is it's conditional. Like it's their opinion.
Yeah,
whereas we can make money through trading rinse and repeating the same mechanics. We don't have to spend time creating an opinion.
Yeah, well said. Taking the emotions out of it. That's what we do at TS. That was the answer I was fishing for. Thank you for that.
Good stuff. Yeah, exactly. So continuing on, we got to the US index. Let's just have a little look at the SPY, which we're already on. SPY, been open now for about an hour for Thursday. We're up here. So we opened again with new highs. We're at 550.12. Market just doesn't seem to care about these this bad data reports for the US that we've been seeing, this dip in consumer confidence and things. So like we just commented on, imagine if we had taken all of our economic data and thought, well, this market sounds bearish, the data points say it's bearish, our assumption is that we're going to be bearish, then we would be holding some pretty ugly losses right now. So that's an example of trading by assumption. So SPY, just to take a little look at our ribbons here. A really interesting exercise I recommend everyone does. Scroll back and look at more data. So look at like 5-year, 10-year charts with these ribbons on, and you'll see that we're supposed to move healthily along these ribbons. We're supposed to be interacting with these ribbons. Over here in February, over here in March, we've just touched base with it, found new buyers, and which is healthy, and they've switched hands, moved higher. Whereas over here today, in today's world, May, June, look how far away we are. We're due a snapback. Can't tell you when it's going to happen, but we know we're not. This isn't how a healthy market is supposed to move.
Sure.
So indicators wise, much of the same as we've been saying this week in the subscription rooms. We're coming out of a squeeze here, and means that the market's made a decision. We've switched color here. We're moving much higher. We're showing lots of in the MACD price index, average. See if I just make this a little bit larger for us. See here how we're finding a lot of momentum here. Big green candles consistently, so we're moving higher. The canary in the mine, however, is the stochastic. We are still we're in the 90th percentiles today. Actually, we are at 98%, which just means we're highly overbought and we're due for a pullback. This works in a percentage system, supply and demand, and the stochastic is saying we are significantly overbought and we're due one of these big red signals soon. Okay, that's the US market. That's the US indexes. Nvidia, it's worth mentioning, of course, because it's big tech, and these are the only news stories that people seem to be interested in and seem to be buying right now. Gapping higher this morning, so opening up with new all-time highs. And on Tuesday, the volume in Nvidia was 3 times anything else, or any of the other big techs in the market. That's 3 times the volume. All this money flowing into AI, flowing into semiconductors. You can see where the money's flowing.
That's insane. Like, do you think from seeing that, obviously, you don't trade emotionally, and obviously market analysis is always super important, but when you see something like that, such a big spike, does it make you think, oh, potentially we can put some positions on there? Or is that something that you kind of wait and go, okay, we could probably go a bit bearish on this, because if it goes up, it's got to come down?
Yeah, and it's great logic. I get it. I get stung whenever I try and trade and think that I know something. Then I get stung. So I'm sticking to my
Yeah.
rules. What's dipping my not dipping my toe in the water? It's the wrong expression, but it's doing these market preps. Just keeps reminding me, keeps me in check that I need to follow my rules. So
Yeah.
to see the craziness happening with big tech right now, and to see all these US indexes moving so much higher, and the market ignoring really important data points that we follow, it just it just it just smells like complacency in the market, and it makes me look at my portfolio, and make sure I'm protecting my money, and making sure that I'm just following all my rules, that I'm prepared for things like this. So what are we doing? We're
So,
making sure that we have hedges in place, making sure that we're keeping delta neutral, not trading in any direction. So all these kind of
mm,
things just reminds
no
us, I
matter.
guess, what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter the temptation. I think that's fantastic. That it's just a great reminder to be so close to temptation, doing all the research and the prep. There's always something going, oh, hey, like something shiny and new. And like you say, I mean, tried and tested for how many years now, just sticking to methodically
Completely.
trading and look at the return on that. So you don't have to, you don't have the added risk and the added worry that
Mm.
comes with it, um,
Hmm.
day and night. Yeah.
Yeah, well said. Completely. This strategy that we do, this is for part-time traders. Leave the guesswork and to the professionals. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
if they're right or wrong. We can make money trading probabilities, and trading our plan. So yeah, if that sounds like that's something for you, then
Mhm.
if you're interested in following us, we have a YouTube channel where we do this every Thursday, don't we? We're green to YouTube. We've only been on for a couple of weeks at the moment, but we have a lot more content over at our platform, where we've been going for some time, and certainly been teaching for a long time, and refining this part-time strategy. It seems to work for a lot of students. So yeah, get yourself over to it. You can get access for free now. We share a lot of spaces, and results and things for free, along with today's show, and portfolio shares from students, and live trading. And then of course, we have our Zero to Hero beginners course, and then we have our subscription service to follow the details of exactly what the secret sauce is behind what we do.
Nice little plug there.
Yeah, whenever it feels right, plug away.
Gotta be done.
Thank
Gotta
you.
be done.
Just finishing up then. Let's talk about oil. Let's talk a bit about precious metals, and a little touch upon cryptos. Just to give a well-rounded market prep. So oil. I look at XLE for a bit of oil, and then I look at UNG. So XLE, moving slightly higher this morning, June 20th, actually more than slightly, quite a fairly big candle. Let's see how that finishes at the end of the day. So we're below the ribbons. So it looks like we got resistance above, but it's interesting to see why is oil catching a bid today. And then UNG, an oil ETF. Sorry, it's actually a gas fund, isn't it? UNG. Huge push in May, as we've covered before, and then looking like we're settling down here, and sort of finding a price level and perhaps going higher. Yeah, it's interesting today to see, or these next few months, just to see if we can hold this new price level as the gas has really pushed up in May. Let's see if we can hold it. Let's see if we can move up higher. But yeah, it's interesting to see how gas moves. And of course, when you're covering one thing, how does gas affect other markets? How does it affect other commodities? Because things move counter to each other. So it's just an interesting to look at everything as a whole, right? So precious metals then. Let's just have a quick look at gold. Where is gold this morning? Or this afternoon, I should say. This morning for US. Gold, gold catching a nice bid here. So gold moving higher today, quite considerably. And you've also then got, I saw that silver as well is moving up, and then I saw that copper, we look at FCX also moving higher. And I think the real reason for this is, if we go and look at UUP, this is the US dollar. We can see US dollar index, huge money flowing into the US dollar. You can see from these two candles. And then we are jumping up higher at the moment throughout the whole week. So you can see that the dollar is moving up considerably. So dollar going up, and then you can see, yeah, how that works in unison with other things. So yeah, that could be the reason for what we're seeing in precious metals. Dollar showing a lot of strength. Let's just finish now with a bit of cryptos, and then let's get into our fun market prep. We finished, so we can get into our live trading. So cryptos. Exciting to cover cryptos. It's a new thing for me, really, to be covering as they are becoming very, very established. So Bitcoin, these are the Bitcoin futures. That will work, but I prefer to actually look at the currency against US dollar. Probably going to look quite similar to, looks quite similar to the futures. So a comment here for cryptos. Bitcoin is around, when I wrote my notes, $979 higher per coin, and across the board with cryptos, all of the big cap cryptos anyway. There's a real mix in the market, seeing some red, seeing some green, but probably mostly bullish overall in cryptos, to be honest. So yeah, important to note, to see where money is flowing.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. I have just forgotten, and last but not least, volatility index. This one's can't forget this one. This one's really important. This one's the fear index, fear and greed. So generally, if markets are really greedy, like they're looking right now, trading in overbought areas, not healthily, I guess flowing, moving up and down, then you'll see VIX lower, and you'll see in the last months or last year we've made all-time lows. So you can just deduce the market's looking really greedy, and then conversely, in areas like here over in April area, market has gotten really really fearful. So you'll see volatility flying into the market. And as option traders, for us, we can take advantage. We can have better months, can't we, Soph?
Absolutely. Well said.
So when option prices, because as we are option sellers, and so the volatility floods in, option prices increase, and so we actually get paid better for our time. And yeah, if you want to learn more about that, we cover this daily, and we talk at length in our courses as well at Trade Social on that. So how are we doing now in the VIX? So today we're catching a little bit of fear. We're reversing around. So yeah, this could be from this is likely going to be from some economic points that came out this morning. So yeah, market looking a bit fearful, comparison to Tuesday, which would have been the 18th, June 18th, where we moved lower. So yeah, definitely one to watch. Yeah, I thought we might be continuing that downtrend, but today may well see that this pushes us out of this downtrend, or it could be the beginning of something. Just makes us really nervous when watching the market, to be honest. When you're seeing no fear in the market, and you're relying on people are putting money into big techs, like we spoke about in the video earlier. Big tech, it's heavily weighted in a lot of the index in the markets. So, if that was to fail, if there were to be some bad news stories or something to make it push lower, you'll see a very painful time and a painful reversal in the markets. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. So you go. That's market prep done. I think we should get into some trading.
Definitely, let's go.
All right. So how's our portfolio looking today? Like we noted, we're at 30% BP, which means of our total fund, we only have 30% invested. We got a lot of cash sitting on sidelines, so we need to push this portfolio now over today and next week to push it towards 60%, a bit 50, 60%. So let's get to that in a moment. But first of all, it's really important to cover your current positions to see if anything needs like maintenance, basically. So what we do, let's open this up. Let's look at individually, and let's also look at what needs to be taken care of. I like to filter by DTE, so we know what's expiring soon. So that vertical that we put an order on for yesterday, still not filled, meaning I'm gonna have to go to the activities tab. I'm gonna have to go to this working, right click, and I need to replace this order. So currently our order is at 0.05, so we're looking to get a small credit paid back to us for this debit vertical. It's not working, so we're going to have to come lower. So will it let us go? No, it won't. We can't move lower because it's moving in multiples of that number. So that's fine. We're just going to need to sit and wait. So no change yet. Let's keep this one cooking. So the negative thing of this is if we don't get this filled, what's going to happen is it goes to the clearance house Friday close, and it means likely we're going to have to. They will close it for us. It just means that it's expired for whatever price. There is a slight cost for that. I think it might be $1 maximum. So this is why it's good practice to close these things earlier. So we've been slightly caught out there. It's not an expensive mistake, but you just can't do this as often, because if you imagine in the year, if you're closing 100 of these trades, that's then $100 that you could have saved.
Absolutely. Good perspective to put it on that. And I remember early days when we were filming, doing my live student shares, and I came to you with this exact question. I was too relaxed about it. Not that it affected me negatively, but it could have, and it can. So
yeah,
it's better just as like you said, get into a better practice, create the habit, and get those guys filled.
Yeah, well said. Exactly. The next vertical that we've got then, well, we've got a flurry of verticals here. We got June 28, 19, 31. We carry verticals as natural hedges. So we predominantly we have our money in naked puts, and these verticals are acting as natural hedges against each. And that's how our strategy comes together. We always expect to lose a bit on these verticals. So you can see all four of these with slight losses, around $50 to $100. That's insurance that we love to hold. We like to balance our portfolio, and this is how we do so mostly. All of these would have had naked put profits. So the June 21, for example, this will get closed tomorrow by us or the clearinghouse, $50 minus. However, we made $250 in that, so we've more than made money to pay for it and come out with a good profit. And the same story will be for June 28th and the rest of them. So that's how we trade these verticals. That's why you'll see us mostly taking small losses. I think that's a really professional and healthy way to trade. And I know that from my delta and from trading delta neutrally. And yeah, another small plug that we cover this extensively daily in the show, in the subscription, and we go into more details mostly. And in our beginners trading course, we we start with the foundations of this and how to build a portfolio. Yeah. So moving on then, I'll skip past most verticals as we do at this point. I've kind of said enough on verticals. It's the same story basically for anything else you'll see verticals. So what's left to cover then? We've got our 112s. These are positions that still have the naked put with the verticals. So we've got our August 16th here. We are holding near 70% in that, and that's over 42 days. We've made that 70%, and that is $110 profit for our 22K account. Really, really healthy, and fantastic
Really
to see over 1% a day, much more than 1% a day, which is generally what we shoot for. August 30th then, 33%, and we've made that over 15 days, which is fantastic, and that translates to $144, which is fantastic. Just had a quick look there at comment section and participants. If you can keep an eye for me, Soph, as well. If any comments come in, anyone following along, Sophie will be there ready to answer questions. If you could just
cool.
Jump on that and manage for us. I'm starting to really encourage people to come and join us live and comment, because you'll get me live, you'll get Sophie live as the beginner, and we're here to help. So we generally want to create chats, create topic points, and have a discussions. So yeah, if you keep an eye, Sophie, on that, that'd be awesome.
It is, yeah, absolutely, and it is super genuine. I mean, when we run through my student share, which will be running tomorrow at 3 GMT time, is like we are so raw, we're so in there, and it is whatever questions come up, we're addressing them as and when. And I just don't really think that there's another show doing that at the moment, especially for beginners, especially for myself. I'm asking a lot of questions that I know that the members really benefit from as well, and that maybe they didn't want to come forward and ask it. But yeah, we are just completely transparent, and I think that's the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to get on that show.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We're picking it apart.
I don't see anyone else doing this on YouTube. Yeah, well said. Full transparency. This is a live portfolio. You're seeing my live screen. So yeah, all like everything bared. There warts and all, losses and profits.
Absolutely.
This is trading life. This is exactly how it is, and I think there's a definite place for this, in the YouTube community. So get involved. So moving on to September 20s then, how we fixed here, about 1% a day still on this, 36 days open in the trade. That's $219 profit we're holding, and that's over 42 days. So nothing to do there. The profit target for our naked puts is around 90% or over 90%. So everything that we've covered so far, we're not really close to that, especially with this one. So there's nothing to do. We just sort of wait for theta decay to do its thing, or delta to jump in. And delta is certainly working for us right now in the markets as we're pushing higher. So next up, September 20s, everything looking fine there. When we've now reached 68% there, and that's $274 waiting for us. Let's look at the hedge then. Along with verticals, we also put on hedges when the delta gets too high. Markets recently have got really giddy and excited. Obviously, big tech stories, blah, 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 that we've covered. This is the only thing that seems to be driving markets. Index has gone skyrocket, so our deltas went out of whack, so they went too long. So we have had to reduce our hedge, and we've got certain rules and ways, things to deploy, like this, to put out that fire. So yeah, we're holding a small loss in this SPY, which is $472, just to give everybody a number. Seems pretty huge, but actually when you add up all the other profits that we're holding, they will more than pay for itself. And we have a lot of time left on this SPY as well. So if the markets do decide to move down a lot lower, we've covered our backs. We can make profit from that. And the SPY will pay us insurance money whilst we wait for our other positions to make us money as well. So we're prepared. The September 20, how we fixed? 74% now, and we've moved up to $319. That's 74% for trading for 56 days. So we made over that 1% mark, which is really good to see. And then finally, these last 4 in October, and then 1 in November. This first one in October, we are at 62% for 49 days in the trade. That's $147. Another October 18th, we've got $102, and that's 42 days to make that. And another October 18th, this is quite a big one. This is a bit larger than usual. 32% profit, and that's $250 that we're waiting for there. And then finally, November 15th, we have got a 633 on here. So 6 contracts open for the naked put, 25% profit. So we're holding, that's over 28 days. And that is $180 that we're holding unrealized there. So, yeah, no real maintenance to do on any of those positions. Last week of the month, that may mean something different to us. We have profit targets to hit, and we're income traders. So, that comes first before our profit targets of 90% and stuff. And we'll cover that as and when at the end of June. But we're not there yet. So for now, we're just letting theta work for us, delta work for us. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do anything to the current positions.
Sure. Yeah. It's a nice place to be in the middle of the month. It's kind of like,
yeah, I agree.
Just sit and watch, manage a few things. But apart from that, beginning of the month, end of the month, that's where we need to put most of our maintenance. And in the meantime, you just enjoy it and watch it go.
Yeah, exactly. Part-time trading. Exactly. This is why we can sit back and only trade 3 days a week. Is because on days like today. Good. Yeah, it put your lifestyle first, basically. Like look at it another way. Like it's not just what do you want to get from trading, like profit people look at first. It's what kind of lifestyle do I want? And I'm not or most people that come to Trade Social, they want this side hustle. They already have an income and they just want to grow their savings, and they want to make more on the side. That's a huge part of what we do. And secondly, if you want, this applies itself too to people that want to make trade this full time, or have more money to trade. I guess if you have more money, this stretches further because we're talking about 2 to 3% monthly here. The end of the year, you're looking at making at least sort of 30% is a very realistic goal at the end of the month. And so that's plenty to pay yourself and at least have a second income, or even make it a joint first income.
Sure. And when you put that into perspective, I mean, we're literally talking about 2 to 3 days a week, and it's very possible to ramp that up or you can minimize the time spent. But one of the biggest reasons why I'm so drawn to learning the TS strategies and becoming an active trader from you were kind of the trailblazer, if you like, but you were a massive advocate from day one about having the lifestyle that you want and what it is exactly that, I mean, we cover this in one of the first episodes of the Zero to Hero trading options for beginners. But what it is that kind of your journey on how you managed to find this strategy now and this routine.
Sure.
If it's sure. But my God, you did a lot of trial and error before this point. But I just, yeah, I love that about your strategy at TS, and how it's created so much freedom for myself. And I think a lot of people want that too. If we're really being realistic, we're trying to buy our time back. So yeah, when you look at it in perspective, 2-3 days a week, 45 minutes in that time, and the duration of it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. So
exactly. I
there
think
are
it's pretty
different
cool.
traders that are doing, the day trading, for example, and it's cool, really nice returns and stuff, but it's still a question of an ethical question in a way, like how are you spending your time? You're glued to your phone the whole time. You're glued to your laptop the whole time. This process is not like that. It's actually second to none that I've experienced. So it's, yeah, super cool. Highly recommend,
And
guys.
I'd add I'd add to that too that we're competing with those guys as well. We separate ourselves and say we're part time, we're side hustles, but our performance is very good. It's outsized returns. For the amount of time we're putting in, other traders that are putting in this amount of time, they are looking for a much smaller percentage, well below 2%. What's fantastic about the way that this is structured and the strategy that we use, we making 30% a year really does compete with these guys that are day trading and, like you say, glued to their phones, and they have to be because they're waiting for alerts and trading quicker things. The time frames that we trade are typically we're trading daily, weekly, but really the expiry thing, how long does one position for us last? If we put a position on today, we expect to take it off in 60 days, 90 days. That's the difference. Much slower. But we have about 15 of those positions that are all laddered, right? But my point here is we compete with those guys. And for the amount of time that you put in, yeah, I think puts Trade Social on the map.
Absolutely, yeah, well said. It's really exciting, and can't wait to see where this goes. Because yeah, oh my gosh, the more people know about this, the more people are going to understand the secret sauce.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, can't wait for this to grow. So what I want to finish with is let's put a trade on live. We need to. Our deltas are fine, so we're still neutral. We need to put on a position to bump up that BP. So we've only using 30% cash. So the plan is to go and risk a 5% on a position, which is our normal thing. So for us, that's $1,100. Okay. And so we want to go to an expiry. Typically, we want around 120 days, but we're quite busy in this expiry. Can you see here? We've got a lot, so it doesn't make me want to add to the confusion. So let me just see if October I can get. Okay, so I could go here and get my vertical. So I could go there and I could go down to find this might work. This might work. It's just all part of the process. We really are trading live just to see, because you can't prep for this kind of stuff as much because prices move. So a 1-1-2. So with the ratio being for the naked put, right? That's where I'm going to make my money. This would be a max profit. This would be a risk of $407. And now I want to look at, we want to get to, what did I say? $1,100 is the risk. So we could go slightly over at 1,200, or below would be too far below, 815. So I prefer to go to the this. That's a 633, quite a normal sizing for other positions. For what we've done. What do I think to this? Small delta 0.29, probably as a beta weight for the portfolio, is going to end up being around no more than 4-5 deltas, which is fine to start with because of the naked put will make it slightly delta bullish. Okay, that has potential. I'm getting paid for this 31.75 credit. So if if you can help me to remember that. 31.75, okay?
31.75.
31.75. So let's make a comparison for everybody. If you can't make a choice, just put in the work and look at both positions and make a comparison. So I'm a very indecisive person actually by nature, and Sophie, growing up with me, will know. So best thing for me is a choice, is a comparison, not just one thing. So here is the comparison. This is a 112, which already is paying us more money. Let's look at a risk, so a max profit risk of 8880, and then now we're at 1,320. Now we're talking. That's a good sized position. The delta's the same, which is great, but we're getting paid 38 now for that. And what was the last? Was it what was the last credit? 31 something?
31.75.
Yeah, thought I'd lost you for a moment.
No, I'm right here. Sorry,
Fantastic.
I just wanted to check my notes. I was so keen and didn't want to let you down there, so I wrote it into my notes. 31.75.
Appreciate that. Okay, I think this is the trade then, because we're going out for only like 20 or no, 15, 18 more days, I think. So for that DTE, like, we're getting paid so much more money to hold this.
Absolutely.
And for our portfolio, this means only 2 positions in November 15th. So I just prefer to diversify by trading another expiry as well. And that's something else that we cover in our course, diversification for how are different strategies to do that. This is one, trading another expiry. Really like it. So with tastytrade software now, we can put this all as a whole. We used to have to trade vertical and naked put individually.
Shout out to Jack for that, for giving us the realization.
Shout out to Jack Stevenson. Yeah, he made us aware of that. It was awesome. I remember him once coming to me with a message weekly, and he's saying to me, "Is this wrong? I accidentally put it all on as one." It was amazing that it went through. So he completely just did it by accident. It was so good. And we were then like, all right, but how can we figure it out on the trade log? You know, it's a convenience, but now how do we log it? So we figured it out together. It was quite funny.
Cool.
So let's put this as a GTC because it might not get filled right now. I'm really keen to get it filled live on air though. So fingers crossed, I'm going to send this into the market, review and send. Let's try and get our $38 credit for these contracts. Important to note, the BP effect for us is going to be $1,629, a fair chunk of cash, a fair chunk to be risked. But that sizing is appropriate for our fund size. Sending order in. Oh, I just saw some movement. I thought we got filled then. Bugger. All right, activity tab tells us we have got it. Here it is. This mid price at 37. So currently they're paying out 37.87. That's not entirely true, actually. Replace this order.
I mean, it's not.
The natural price is 35.
Yeah, hey.
35 is the natural. So no, it's not.
Okay.
I don't think it's massive. So okay, we're coming to the end of the show. Actually, let's do some price discovery. Because being new to YouTube, I would love to get this filled live on air, and we absolutely can. Let's just make sure we beat that other options of the other expiry of 31.75, which we are absolutely going to do. Okay, so we're going to reduce now to about 37, so $1 less. Okay, fingers crossed. I think we might get filled. Hey, love that sound. We're filled.
Nice one,
nice.
Bro. Happy days.
Good stuff. $37 for that trade. So still beating the other expiry.
You know, just to open it.
What's that?
I said just to open it. You know, you're getting paid to open it.
Yeah, credit comes in the door day one. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Getting paid to trade data. Getting paid to wait. Exactly. Lovely jubbly. All right, let's go look at that position. Where is she sitting? Here we go. Let's just deselect a few things if I can. Here we go. Okay. November 15, new trade for the day. Got paid to put this trade on. Got paid per contract $37 per contract. Let's just group this position and then wrap up the show. So this is a 633.
I'd be interested now to see how your BP sitting since you put on a new position.
Let's do this. So I'm going to go and get our trade log on, and let's bump that. Let's change these numbers for today, and we can just finish the show on this. You're absolutely right. Let's do this. Let's do this properly. So let me go back into the portfolio. Deltas 52, and then thetas. Sorry, deltas at 50. Delta's now 50, and then the theta 56. Okay, so we cranked the theta up a little bit more. Delta has come up a little bit more than I wanted it to, so we keep an eye on that. We just got to be realistic with this, but that's still fine. Net liquid, more or less the same. BP usage would have changed. 10,419 now.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So that's pushed it up to a whopping. Oh, well, how has that not changed much from your previous 30? Oh, there we go. 47.4%.
Oh, there was a lag for that. Yeah.
There was a lag, yeah.
So that's it. BP use is much healthier, much more in line with rules. So much happier with that one.
To get it around 60 as well. So always important to keep that in mind. And gosh, I'm actually looking at your. I'm really glad that we do these lives because I'm looking at your performance and how many positions you have on, and I really think I'm slacking. So tomorrow's going to be an interesting.
Good. We'll hold you to that. 20th. We put on. What was it? November 15th. Good just to document this all on air and just see. We don't hold anything back on this show. This is really is trading live. So November 15th. Let's copy this one down. I know this is the boring part, some people say, but this is very necessary. This is what we do. 4,350. And then that's the naked put. And then we got a 5, 100, 50, 50, 5, 100, 50, 50. And the only last thing to do, what were our opening prices? So we got, for the naked put, 6 contracts, we got 23.75. That was the credit portion. And then the vertical was 79.25 minus 88. So 70, let's put this all together. Hold on.
I have a question for you.
Okay. Is it on this far
is it
away?
Relative? Yes, it is.
Okay. Far away.
I'm gonna let you finish that. Finish this little piece, and then we'll talk about it.
That is not right. Okay, so 79.25 credit. 79.25 credit. Minus. Oh, there it is. Cool. That makes more sense. Yeah. So the debit part, the vertical, it cost us 78.75. This is the ratio that we talk about. So here's the ratio. Yeah. Pretty healthy ratio that all we wanted to try and cover was $8.75. And then as a 2-to-1, that would put us at about $16, $17. It's like a 2-to-1 ratio. So we hit that out the park and brought in $26.75. Kind of more like a 3-to-1 ratio there. And that's admin done for that trade. Did you still have a question, Soph? Far away.
Question.
What's up?
Sorry if it's a bit loud my end. Getting ready for the Euros. My question was, I can see that there's no hedges in your open tab at the moment. Where are your hedges?
Good
Here we go.
question.
Jesus.
Oh,
Okay,
these
there
are the
they are.
verticals. No, these are the verticals. But you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah, no,
absolutely
I can see
right that
them.
what we should see is a. I'll take care of this later. Let me make a note. Is that what we should have is our hedges in place. So if I go down here and put a hedge,
Ready.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah,
I
beautiful.
haven't updated that. Is that what you meant? Hedges?
I
Or were
did,
you
yeah.
talking
I
about the
just meant the
verticals?
vertical part of the naked put, the verticals, and I
There we
couldn't
go.
see them. Like
Let's
I
move
was
on.
only seeing from like 20 to 44, and you've just scrolled up, and now I've seen the guys. They're there at the top. I
Cool.
was confused. I was thinking like, what am I doing wrong? Because I obviously had them in my open tab. So
Gotcha. I keep them at the
there we
top,
go.
and then
Cool.
I
Yeah,
just
there we go.
group them like this, and then if I put a note on it, just keeps it cleaner like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
you look at a
awesome.
balanced portfolio, and you see all of these positions here. So 7 verticals here are balancing out these all of these open, open positions, these one one
Yeah,
twos,
definitely.
these naked puts. Yeah. So
And as always, no,
keeps
it's
things
just great to
balanced.
see how you run your portfolio and how you're running your trade log because we're taking inspiration from that all the time. So that's why I just thought I'd ask you, see if I'm missing a trick.
Yeah, exactly. The purpose of the show, it's just to see this daily opening, closing, this movement, daily management of positions and stuff. Um,
Uh,
yeah, so that let's bring our faces back on screen. Concludes
yeah.
maintenance. Concludes maintenance for the 22K portfolio. Um, yeah, does not take too long. Factoring into account our market prep too, which people can get that faster. Really, when you're in the software, this is really only a 45-minute routine that you need to look at,
Yeah.
and 2 to 3 days a week. Cool.
Well,
So
thank you so
stuff
much for
done.
today. As always, it's super. It's a challenge. Sounds cheesy, but it's a privilege to be able to have this access to watching you trading live the TS strategies. It's worth its weight in gold for anyone who's curious. Definitely come and meet us on our platform, join the network, and you got me and Luke just figuring it out. Raw, transparent, making money, and yeah. It's something's making here for sure. And
Yeah, absolutely. Just growing together with the community. As the community tells us, today we're recording all these setup videos. We're trying to put together more ideas for people, more content for people, to make it easier. How do you set up your account? How do you follow our alerts? How do you this trading log we use today? How do you follow it? And so just like that, if we can grow this community, get people asking for more content. What would you like to see?
yeah,
What setup
absolutely.
videos are missing, or what are we not covering?
Well, even
Mostly,
basic as having, do we enjoy market analysis? Are we enjoying going through the trade log? What do you want to see more of? What do you think works? How are we helping you? Let us know. Put it in the comments, and we will 100%. We're super flexible, and we're going to adapt to what our members need because essentially that's it. Virtual hand holding. And all creating a better awareness for this. More people need to know about it. It's super awesome. And yeah, that's what we're here for.
well said, Soph. Well said. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Fantastic questions. And
yeah, thank you.
we're
Awesome.
seeing you tomorrow. So we got come back to YouTube, 3:00. Sophie will take my hot seat role, and we'll see how her student portfolio is. That's it for us today, then. Signing off.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.